day to everyone. You should have seen this slide deck with the program updates. And a lot of people, might be wondering, well, why are we doing this now? And it's important for everyone to understand that, viaONEHOPE is growing very, very quickly. And our goal overall is to build a very sustainable program so that we can continue to make amazing opportunities available for our CEOs to earn an income and make an impact with us. We were just at the Direct Selling Association annual meeting last week in Orlando, Florida, where we were amazed and very honored to receive the Rising Star Award. So, we are definitely making waves in the world of direct selling and making a name for ourselves. And so we really want to make sure that we're as buttoned up as possible so that we can continue to have a sustainable program as we grow from, 2,000 CEOs in our community that we currently have to someday over 200,000 CEOs. So along the way, you really have to kind of check some guideposts and make sure that you're set up for success. And so a lot of these program updates are, with all of that in mind in trying to build a very sustainable program for everyone. So as I mentioned, you guys, we're building a community that has over 2,200 CEOs in it currently. So for those of you that have been with us, going back to the very beginning, about 3 years ago, we only had 150 CEOs. So that is explosive growth that we've experienced over the last 3 years. And there's definitely no stopping us. Just to give you some perspective, currently we're shipping on average about 55,000 bottles of ONEHOPE wine every single month. Within our viaONEHOPE channel, we are donating to over 400 plus causes that your hosts are selecting. And together we are creating an impact of over $2.6 million together with ONEHOPE so far. So what we'll talk about today, all of these changes go into effect on July 1st, but we wanted to get out ahead of it and give you guys some time to absorb the changes, and make any adjustments that you might need and kind of wrap your head around everything that's going to be changing. I do want to let you know that we have a brand new catalog that will be coming out July 1st. I was taking a look this morning at our final draft that's getting ready to go to print, and you're going to absolutely love the beautiful new catalog and all the great new gift sets that are included in our new catalog. So we will be refreshing our host planner, our opportunity guide, all of your marketing, printed materials, everything on your websites. We are busy behind the scenes working on making all of the updates to those materials that will reflect all of these program changes. I do want to just ask for your patience because, as you can imagine, it's a lot of things that will need to change. And so it would be amazing to wake up on the morning of July 1st, which is a Friday going into a holiday weekend, and have everything magically at your fingertips done. It will be a little bit of a process. So we just ask for your patience along the way as we're making all of these updates. If you have any questions, if you run into any glitches, you can always write in support at viaonehope.com. And we also think it's probably a good idea if you are having wine tasting events during that 4th of July holiday weekend, maybe hang on to your orders until July 5th or 6th. Give us some time to get all of the updates done into your back offices so that you won't encounter any frustration or any glitches just in case we're still in the process of switching things over. But we will definitely keep you guys updated and we appreciate your patience as we go along. So again, everything's going into effect July 1st. So we're going to talk about new pricing. We're going to talk about more benefits for you and for your business. We're going to talk about new shipping rates, some adjustments to our CEO wine cellar and our host packages, and then also our new host rewards program. So as you've seen, we're increasing the price on our core collection varietals. We're going from $18.99 to $19.99 a bottle, so just $1 price increase. We've never taken a price increase in viaONEHOPE. As a matter of fact, we did take a price increase in our wholesale business channel about 9 months ago, and we held off on making that change within Via, and now is the right time to go ahead and do that for direct-to-consumer. So what this means is we have new case for a cause pricing. So starting at our half case of 6 bottles, that will be $99 for the core collection, and a full case of 12 bottles goes up to $169. Now we are increasing all of our core collection varietals by that $1. And when you see the new catalog and the new pricing sheet, some of our reserve wines are increasing where it made sense. So for instance, if we had a varietal that was $23.99, more than likely that will go up to $24. If we had a reserve varietal that was at $29.99, more than likely that stayed at $29 instead of bumping it up to $30. Another thing that's important to note is that the upcharges for adding on any reserves to a case for a cause, those prices are not changing. So for instance, the Edna Valley Pinot Noir is a +5. That is staying the same, and all of our upcharges are staying the same across the board for our reserve collection of wines. So what this means is a lot more benefits for you and for your business. It's a very small, subtle change that we really feel will be accepted very easily with our customers. And what it means is increased personal commission. So you're making a little bit more commission on every single bottle and every single case that you're selling. You're going to receive increased coaching commissions because everything that your team is selling, you're earning commissions on that as well. And so with the price increase, that means increased coaching commissions. It'll help you to have higher overall wine tasting event sales. It'll help you get qualified faster. It'll help you get to that 25% pay bump a lot quicker. And it will help you earn more points for incentives and contests that we do. It'll help you earn those monthly business boost points even easier. We will be starting an incentive July 1st. And for those of you that are coming to Crush, here's another great reason to come to Crush is because we will be revealing where our next destination will be for our incentive trip. But you will start earning points in July 1st, for your sales that will count towards that incentive trip. So we'll have a little waiting period about 3 weeks before it's time for Crush where you'll find out where we're going. But this will help you earn points even quicker so that you can hopefully join us on our next trip. Okay, so that leads into shipping rates. So a couple of the things, two of the biggest things that we get feedback on all the time, and it's kind of been since day one, to be honest, is shipping rates. Is there something that we can do about shipping, especially those of you that are on the East Coast? And the second thing is host rewards. Can we do something to make that a little bit more exciting for our hosts? And so obviously, we've tried to address those two things as well with these changes. And I do want to say for any of you who have ever gone to Napa Valley and gone wine tasting and then tried to ship, even one bottle of wine or a couple bottles of wine back home, it's expensive. It's just the bottom line is wine is it's heavy. It requires a signature. It's expensive to ship. And so if you've shipped something from another winery, I think that you'll agree that our shipping rates have been extremely fair. Every year we meet with UPS to renegotiate our rates and make sure that we're getting the best rates possible, based on our volume. But it's expensive to ship wine. And just to give you an idea, we are subsidizing the cost of every single package that leaves our warehouse. So what that means is it actually costs ONEHOPE more than we're charging our customers to ship their wine across the country. To put things in perspective also, if we look overall at our packages that leave our warehouse, 64% of our wines that leave our warehouse go to the East Coast where they're paying $30 in shipping. 22% of our packages go to our Midwest zone, which is $20 shipping right now. And then 14% of our packages are going to the West Coast. So overwhelmingly, we've got, 86% of our packages are going to the Midwest and to the East Coast. And so we are really delighted to be able to introduce $20 flat rate shipping across the board on all case for a cause purchases nationwide. Flat rate shipping will remain the same as it always has on our gift sets. One thing I did want to mention is a lot of times people will ask, well, why do I have to pay the same price if I'm ordering a half case or a full case? Shouldn't I get a discount if I'm only ordering 6 bottles instead of 12? The reality is it costs us exactly the same to ship that out. And it's also a nice kind of selling tool for you at your tasting events, knowing that a customer is going to be paying the same $20 shipping rate. It's a way for you to encourage them to, upsell from the 6-bottle half case to the 12-bottle full case because it gives them a better value overall. So This really can make your messaging very easy. We've learned a lot from the 64% of CEOs on the East Coast who are selling, have been selling at $30 shipping. I'm sure you guys were cheering when you saw the flat rate shipping going down to 20. But what they've been doing is quoting their customers the full case price as a bundle with the shipping. So they've been saying it's only $189, and that includes the shipping. And so you can play around with that for yourself and see if it makes it a little easier. For those of you on the West Coast who may be slightly concerned about explaining, we're going from $10 on the West Coast to $20. For anyone who's got a concern about that, maybe try out that messaging that has worked really, really well on the East Coast. Instead of presenting the case price and then presenting the shipping as a second line item, put it together in a bundle and see if you get more acceptance that way. I think the other thing to note too is that if you are concerned, that there's going to be a price increase or a shipping increase for your customers, a lot of times, honestly, guys, they don't remember what they paid when they ordered from you 6 months ago or 12 months ago. And so really, for those of you that might have a concern about the pricing being a challenge for you, I think it's a challenge if you make it a challenge and if you choose to focus on it. I think if you shift gears into the positive things that are coming along with all of these program changes, you'll find a greater acceptance from your customers and from your teams. Okay, so I said the second thing that we get, let me get into the host and the CEO shipping rates real quick. And so as I mentioned when we started talking about shipping, ONEHOPE subsidizes the cost for every package that leaves our warehouse. And with the $20 flat rate shipping, we're going to continue to subsidize a lot of that cost. Something that we're not able to continue to do is extend free shipping to our CEOs and to our hosts for their purchases. Not only are we offering up to a 60% discount on the wines themselves, in addition, ONEHOPE subsidizing 100% of that shipping cost just is not something that's going to make our program sustainable. So instead of having a $20 flat rate shipping, we are offering a 50% discount on shipping for all of our hosts and all of our CEOs. The other thing that we are starting to do is look for ways to improve the experience of the host package over time. When you come to Crush, you're going to see a pretty cool new starter kit. There's a little teaser for you. So we're also looking now, how do we make that experience really special for the host? So shipping wine isn't really, beautiful. It has to come in a nice box that's protecting the wine so that the bottles don't break. So how do you ship something that, really requires a lot of packaging to protect and preserve the wine, but make that moment when they open the box, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I'm so excited. And they can't wait to tear into the box. How do you do that when you're shipping wine? It's not the easiest thing to do. So some of these changes that we are incorporating into the program will allow us to spend a little bit more money to improve that overall experience for the host package. So changing the shippers, changing what the inserts look like, what comes inside the host package. Maybe there's a little goodie or a treat or something like that that's inside the host package. So you'll see some future updates down the road when we are improving that experience as well. And so part of this program change feeds into us being able to really have that wow factor and that really, exciting moment for when the UPS guy shows up on the doorstep and they've got this beautiful package that they can't wait to open up. Okay, so now let's talk about our host rewards program. So as I mentioned, this is the second thing that we get the most feedback on is the host reward program. And it's kind of a mixed bag. So we get a lot of people that say, hey, I wish I could donate more than 15%. And we get feedback that says, hey, our rewards are capped out at $100 for our host to be able to have free product. I just had a $3,000 wine tasting and my host only got $100 in free product. I really would like to be able to offer them more. And so what we did with our new host reward program is really to try to take into account how we could best meet the needs of the most people across the board. And the other big thing that caused, I think, confusion and has been a challenge for us is our gifting catalog, right? We've got that beautiful gifting catalog, but then we had to have via exclusive gift sets a handful of those that were eligible for that local donation. And so we really wanted to strive to streamline things and make it as easy as possible and have as many SKUs available for you to offer your guests at your tasting events that will count towards that donation. So moving to a 10% local donation, we are now able to offer that on all of our gift sets in our catalog that are $49 or more. And in addition to the full cases and the half cases that you've been selling all along. And so if you think about it, you know, we went from having a catalog that 0% of the things in that catalog were eligible for a local donation. Now, you know, nearly 100% of everything that's in that gorgeous catalog is available for the donation. And so at your tasting events, I'm sure you've all experienced, you know, the guest who really doesn't want to pull the trigger on even ordering a half case, but they would still love to support the host and still support the cause of choice. Now that we have almost our entire gift catalog eligible for that 10% local donation, we really feel that this is going to help you have increased party sales, sell to even more customers at your events, and really make more of an impact. The next thing is hosts can now earn up to 12% of the event sales, and this is uncapped. So there's no more having to split parties. So if you do have someone who has, you know, a $3,000 party, what we've seen in the past is sometimes CEOs would open up a second party in their party portal so that they could get those rewards for your host. You won't have to worry about doing that anymore. So your messaging is really a snap because you're receiving nearly 60% off wine for your tasting event for your hosts. They're getting $10 flat rate shipping. They're getting 10% donated to the cause of their choice from all of our gifting items and the half and full cases of wine. And our hosts are earning up to 12% in rewards. So it's a really fantastic, we believe, program for our hosts, and it should make it even easier for you to continue to book tasting events because there's so much in it, not only for your hosts, but for your guests as well, and ultimately for their cause of choice. So the program starts at a $300 party and goes up to $500. So if you've got a party in that category, they're going to earn 6% back. If they have a party that goes from $500 to $2,000, your host will earn 10% back on that. So $1,000 party will give you $100 in rewards. $2,000 party will give you $200 in rewards. And then for those big, huge fundraising events, once they've hit $2,000, then they get bumped up to 12%. And again, that is uncapped. And they can use those host reward credits to redeem for wine, for gift sets, for swag, any of the fun stuff in our marketplace. I'll also say we are working at adding a lot of new items into the marketplace for you and your hosts to enjoy as well. So just to review, going back to the top, so we are moving our MSRP across all channels at $19.99 per bottle. So that makes your new case for a cause pricing $99. Half case $99, full case $169. We're introducing a $20 flat rate shipping on all case for a cause SKUs across the country. $10 flat rate shipping for you and for your hosts. The host rewards are now getting a 10% local donation, and everything in our gift catalog that's $49 or more is eligible for that donation. And again, we've got a much more lucrative and rich host rewards program where they are able to earn up to 12% in free credits. So with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen and we will open it up for questions. Kathy and Sabrina, you guys have been keeping an eye on the chat box.
There's nothing in the chat box except me because someone was drawing on the screen.
Somebody had their crayons out.
They did. Okay. I saw rewards didn't apply to single bottles. Don't.
Correct. They do not, and they never have applied to single bottles. I know we get that question of, why can't I purchase one bottle at a tasting event and have it go towards the cause of choice? There's just not the margin built in for that. And we want to really make as big of an impact in a donation as possible. So think of it, if you have, 10 people attending a tasting event and all 10 people or even 6 people ordered one bottle, we wouldn't be able to make much of an impact for the cause that folks are getting together to support, and you wouldn't, be earning much commission for your hard work and the time spent to go out and do tasting events. And so that is the reason why we do not apply rewards to a single bottle sales. And you guys can ask questions live too. If you don't, you can chat in the chat box. And you can also unmute yourself and ask live if you would like to. Yes, Kim, same thing on the host rewards.
I think.
Sorry, I meant host rewards, same thing. So if someone does, let's say, choose a single bottle, that still will count towards their overall party sales. So it will help them get to either that 6, 10, or 12% in free rewards. New CEO question, just received my starter kit with old catalogs, da-da-da. Okay, so we will, when these things launch on July 1st, for the, I'll let this cat out of the bag. For the first 2 weeks in July, we will be offering a 50% discount on all of the new marketing materials so that you can stock up. And Jen, I think one thing also, even though you just got your starter kit, you have all of these brochures and host planners and all those. Challenge yourself in the next 2 weeks, get out and get rid of all of those. Even though the pricing is going to be changing, you may not necessarily have a lot of tasting events scheduled in the next 2 weeks. So I would challenge myself to get out there and get those babies in the hands of potential hosts, potential new CEOs, potential customers. A really fun tip also that a lot of seasoned CEOs do when they have leftovers of older catalogs, they'll create a fun little sticker that they put on the front cover saying something like, even though that this catalog is out of date, the products inside are still just as great. Give me a call if you want a new catalog. And they leave them at the hair salon, at the dentist's office, the doctor's office, kind of sprinkle them around as you're out running your errands, leave them behind for somebody to pick up and discover One Hope. And it's got your contact information on there. Kathy or Sabrina, do you want to add anything else about that particular question?
Yes, I usually do that exact same thing with my catalogs, and I put that same sticker on it, but I save it for when I work a festival or a big vendor event, and I hand them out like candy. So yeah, and just taking them around town and everything. But they're all great, and they're great resources. The other thing I was asked is if they sign up July 1, will they get the new catalogs as well in that new July 1, right? Doesn't the new catalog come out July 1? So when they sign up, it would be in the new business kits?
Yes, and if you think about it, July 1st is a Friday, and then we're going into the holiday weekend. So if you do have people that are signing up on July, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, realistically, nothing's going to be leaving our warehouse until July 5th, July 6th after the holiday. And even if we do need to hold shipping potentially for a day or two, just to make sure that all of that lines up, the last thing we want to do is send out old materials. So we will make sure that all of those new CEOs are getting newer materials.
Also about the July, if they already have a tasting booked in July and they've already host coached the current program with the July host, Katie, what's the answer to that question?
Yes. So as you guys know, for those of you that have held events and you've gone through closing out a party and redeeming your host rewards, we really are on the honor system when it comes to the local donation. If you have a party that's currently scheduled in the party portal and you've coached that it's a 15% donation, we will honor that for parties in July. But again, it is on the honor system, and we know that we don't have to have a concern about that, and we don't want to make you have to have a difficult conversation with your host who you've already promised one thing, and now things are changing. So we're happy to extend that for your July hosts that you've already discussed that with.
And if you're new and you haven't had a tasting yet, I can just tell you that you manually enter that amount in when you're entering your host.
Reagan had asked, when you say MSRP in all channels, do you mean grocery stores as well? So we had a price increase across the board with all of our business channels. We actually can't control what price the retailer decides to sell it at. But because their price increased from OneHope to purchase from us, on the ticket, on the grocery store shelf, sometimes it'll say, $19.99 MSRP, and then they will put a slash through it and they'll offer whatever their discount is, so that it's, $16.99 a bottle or whatever it is that the retailer wants to sell it at. So that price increase affects like that top MSRP ticket price at the grocery store, but ultimately whatever they choose to sell it at, we can't control that.
And then there was a question, Katie, about when Tracy Manning was asking, when do the new starter kits go into effect? Are we getting new starter kits, Katie? I don't know.
You should come to Crush and find out more.
I'm thinking, come to Crush. We have all kinds of secrets that we can't tell.
So the game plan, Tracy, is that we're going to be launching those at Crush to start shipping August 1st. Fingers crossed.
Would they like to get those secrets out of us, don't they?
I know. I would never do well if I was, kidnapped by the enemy. I'd spill everything. Any other questions out there, you guys?
So I think one of the things that we had talked about yesterday, Jake had a comment about perspective and the income potential that this gives everyone. Do you want to speak to that, Katie? About because this system is actually going to make them more money. I know.
Absolutely. We even had a director that kind of penciled out the math on a couple tasting events that she had last month, and did a comparison of, what the host would have earned in rewards and what she would have earned in commission. And it was pretty amazing to see. So that's one thing I think I want to have our marketing team put together too, is a couple of examples for you guys. So you could see, what $8,000 tasting event looked like under the old program and the new program, what that means for your host and for you guys. But really, we know that you guys are making a big commitment to work this business, a lot of you, in addition to having a full-time job, to having a busy household with kids and busy schedules, and you're taking time away from all of that to go out and do tasting events. And so one of our goals is to make, your average dollars per hour earned as high as possible. So Erin also had posted something, I can't remember if it was in the leader page or on the community page, about just perspective of taking a ride with the Uber driver who was really excited that he had made $300 after working all night, working 7 hours. You guys have the ability to earn that same amount of money in a 2-hour tasting event. And so it's all about, dollars per hour and getting you guys as high an average as possible, so that when you are making that sacrifice to go out and work your business, you're getting rewarded for it. But at the same time, we're also making as big an impact as we possibly can for your hosts and for our nonprofit causes of choice.
Yes, and I think that some good vocabulary in this transition period would be, and you guys should really honestly be saying this all the time, because many direct selling companies change their host program on a monthly basis. So when you're booking a party, you can say this month's special, or, July's special for the month is, and, at viaONEHOPE, we always have a feature of the month, right? So, this month we have the LGBTQ sparkle bottle with the free shipping, right? So you can, when you're host coaching, you can say, July's special is blank, or August special is blank. And then that way it sets in their mind that, oh, they change things, frequently, because, we don't want to sound like we're taking anything away from the host. We're actually giving a lot more with that 12% cap, which really incentivizes the hostess to get outside orders and to really kick her tasting up a notch. So when she partners with you on the host coaching and the host program, then in the end, it's a great snowball effect. It's going to bring in more money for the cause. It's going to bring in more money for your paycheck and more host rewards for her. So it's a 3 ways of giving and increasing the giving.
Excellent way to frame it, Kathy. Let's see. One, Levon had a question: are gift sets going up on cost because of the per bottle? Yes, the gift sets are having a slight adjustment on the pricing as well that you'll see in the new catalog. Shannon asked, I have a new CEO on my team who just started. Can she get the spring catalogs? Again, Shannon, I would just say make it a goal to get rid of all those in the next 2 weeks so that we've got, she can order the new ones. And again, we will be offering all of the new marketing materials at a 50% discount for the first 2 weeks in July. So you can stock up on the new stuff.
And that's pretty standard in this industry. Every time catalogs change, we'll incentivize you to get the newest one at 50%. So that's a great deal.
Yeah.
And they're going to be gorgeous. So
they are gorgeous. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Cool. Any other questions before we sign off this morning? Will the catalogs be just summer? The new catalog is going to take us through probably until October, and then you'll see a holiday catalog launch in October. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. We are really excited about these changes. We think overall it's going to help us, like I said, continue to build a very sustainable business for all of us so that we can keep earning awards like the Rising Star Award and continue to get recognized for how we're shaking up the direct selling industry. So thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of the movement to make an impact together. We can't wait to see you guys at Crush. If you haven't registered, hey, commission gets paid tomorrow, so that's kind of a good way you could spend your commission is getting registered for Crush. We would love to see you there. All right, you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.
thanks. Bye.